So the beginning is me. I'm speaking the meditation.
Okay.
And by the end of the meditation, you speak to Arjun. So basically, this is my trick to connect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my voice, and somewhere halfway, you sometimes you can hear the change. So I have the audio running already. This is how I start the engine.
Okay.
And then I let them walk in while I'm talking. And that's easier for them, it's easier for me. So we kept on doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So shall I just begin?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if you do want to join, begin by taking a nice few deep breaths. And with every out breath, release all the tension that might still be in your body or your mind. And bring your focus to your heart if you want. And imagine how from your heart a silver line of energy begins to flow down your body, through your belly, through your legs, all the way down to your feet, through the building and into the ground. And imagine this silver line sinking deeper and deeper through all the layers of the earth, until eventually you reach the center of the earth, the heart of the planet. And whatever this place looks like to you right now, it is absolutely perfect. And you're being warmly welcomed to make a strong connection to this place in whatever way you imagine would be most natural and comfortable for you right now. And when you feel you have made that connection, imagine that Earth's core frequency flowing through your silver line and traveling back up, same way you came, through all the layers of the Earth, until you return to this building and to this room. And imagine that Earth frequency flowing into your body, starting at your feet, moving up to your knees, while along the way every single cell gets hugged by this Earth frequency and begins to resonate in harmony with it. And from your knees moving up to your hips, same thing happens through your belly, your lower back, into your chest, up along the spine. And with the next deep and calm breath in, imagine that earth frequency flowing into your heart and filling it up completely. And then if you want, imagine that same silver line going on a second journey, this time moving up from your heart, through your throat, through your head, out through the crown of your head, through the building and into the sky. And higher, beyond the clouds, beyond the ozone layer, and into the universe. Your silver line flies absolutely effortlessly amongst the planets and the stars, until eventually you reach the central sun of your solar system. And here too you're being warmly welcomed to make a strong connection to the absolute center point of your sun, however you right now imagine you would like to do that. And when you feel that you have made that connection in your own way, imagine that solar energy too flowing through your silver line, traveling back across the same way that you came, back to your blue little magical planet, and back to this country, this city, this area, this house, and eventually this room. And see that solar energy too flowing into your body, starting ever so friendly at the top of your head, moving through your head, energizing the cells along the way, through your throat, back of your neck, into your chest, between your shoulder blades. And with the next deep and calm breath in, imagine that solar energy too flowing into your heart and merging with the earth frequency that was already present there in a never-ending golden spiral. And if you want, you can, for a moment, put one or both of your hands on your heart. Feel your heart beat, land there, anchor there. For this is where heaven meets earth within you. It is the door through which we speak, the window through which we meet at this moment of your time. For we are here and we thank you for the invitation of this co-creation. How can we be of service to you?
Hello, Arjun.
And hello.
I'm very honored to be here with you.
Well, thank you so much. We are very honored to be receiving you on this end.
Thank you. I have some questions, and first of all, I wonder if you can explain to me how the universe actually came into being. We have an idea that it was a Big Bang. Is that idea right, or is it really something very different from that?
Speaking from the overview perspective, there are in that sense no right or wrongs, and this is one way wherein a universe can kickstart itself. And for you, yes, you could pinpoint to it in that way, linearly speaking. But your universe and the way you perceive it in every single here and now is being called, ushered into beingness by you every single moment. So you can say, linearly speaking, it started with the Big Bang. And we can also say you're creating it now, and you're creating it now, and you're creating it now. And it is not less impressive as was this Big Bang. But both are simultaneously unfolding, you see.
Okay. Can you tell me, is there life throughout the universe?
There is life. There is life in all kinds of ways that you're yet to discover. But there is also life in the physical form, as you perhaps meant it in this question. It may not look like, perhaps you understand yourself to be a physical being, but yes, there is life, absolutely.
Is that part of the main concept of the creation of the universe, for there to be life?
It is. And it translates itself in all possible ways. And you could, in your language, call all of that life. Yes, you could. Existence. It is existence itself.
But you say that some of this life is physical and can be then sensed by our physical senses, so to speak. But can you tell me about the life that is non-physical?
That is the majority, you would say. The bigger part of you right now, of the person that you understand yourself to be, is still, quote unquote, residing in the non-physical. It is your origin. So everything that you encounter in the physical realm, as you perceive it with your physical senses, is the product, in a sense, of a non-physical, bigger whole, a source. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So within all of these, if you wish to divide it in one way, shape, or form, within all of these layers and dimensions that reach far into the non-physical all the way to the one that contains the whole in every single here and now, therein you can find closest to you, you would say, people that have deceased, that are of your own species, that you now perceive to be no longer present, although they still exist. And then there are assisting guides of all kinds of realms. There are nature guides. There are what are referred to often as elementals, beings that are strongly energetically connected with your Earth, Mother, your Gaia, that speak through plants. There are animals, crystals, all life on your planet has energetic radiance and therefore can be experienced by you as an entirely new entity. Even without looking up to the stars and reaching out for the idea of contact with extra dimensionals. In whatever way, shape, or form your mind would ponder these things, you could and still can explore worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds on your own planet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One of the big puzzles for us in this physical realm is the question of what is consciousness. How would you explain consciousness to me?
It's all that is. That's the simple answer. Existence is consciousness. It is consciousness. Consciousness is needed to experience existence. You see, what you feel flowing through you right now, that you identify to be your persona self in every single moment, calculating in all the little changes of growth, the emotions you have, the thoughts you process. This is being perceived by something that it cannot be located or pointed out in the body. You can't say the consciousness of who I am is in my foot or in my mind. We understand you have a neurotransmitter in your mind, in your head, that you call the brain in that sense. And it facilitates, like an antenna, the consciousness flowing through your physical being. But it is not where consciousness is captured in, you see. You are actually holding your physical being. You're enveloping everything that you perceive to be physical to begin with within your energetic being. So it's truly inside out, looking at how most of you conceive of the idea of who you are, what you are. But you are perceiving yourself, through the vessel of your physical being in this moment. But whether you are in that vessel or not, you are still you. And when you pass over, when you transit to the other side, as you call it, you gain a new perspective, but you are still you and you will always exist. Because if everything is right here, right now, and you exist, then you will always exist. There's no end to you. It is all existence, and existence is consciousness.
So does this mean that my consciousness, what I also experience as my personality and my thoughts, that they are actually always existing? They do not follow the aging of my body? Is it the same consciousness I have inside me now as I had when I was 2 years old?
No,
right?
because your perspective has changed, and it changed every single moment between you were 2 years old and where you are now. And it continues to change. Everything continues to change. So within all that is, the consciousness is taking roots, you could say, to explain this in your dimensional realm. As an example, you are taking different routes. You're looking at all that is from different angles. But you know you can have a thought right now and 5 minutes later reconsider that thought and look at it from a different point of view. That makes you a new you, but that older version of you that was considering it from the previous point of view also still exists. And you need that to exist so that you can compare where you are now to what you believed you were before, quote unquote. You use it for your sense of linear evolvement. That's how you have chosen to explore life or existence in this particular form, in this particular incarnation. Doesn't always run that particular route, but that's how you have chosen to run it.
But science has shown us that inside ourselves we have a lot of conscious activity,
Yes.
And a lot of microorganisms and cellular activity.
Absolutely.
And my question is, what is running that consciousness? What is making all these different entities or also molecular beings making them able to co-create and to work together to kind of form my body as it is?
Unconditional love does. It is the glue that holds all the elements together. Consciousness, powered by unconditional love in this way, as you would translate it into your realm, creates automatically harmony, organically harmonizes its own manifestation. So the desire of your soul spark to be incarnated in a human vessel, to have a human life experience, started in a sense by translating the non-physical desire, first of all, in a blueprint element that then transformed itself into the physical by lowering its energy frequency, which became a particular type of DNA. And meeting at conception, the body was formed around it harmoniously because unconditional love powered up the wish, the desire of the soul spark in co-creation with the beings that you understand to be your parents, or if in any other way, shape, or form a body is created. So we're not excluding the idea of hybridization here. That's why we're bringing that idea in. So the cells have their own body consciousness, their own awareness. Everything within all that is, which is a hologram, contains the information of the rest of all that is. So every single cell in your body is resonating in a tone that harmonizes with your soul's desire, with your higher mind's understanding of what is most important to explore next in this particular journey that you've chosen to live in this particular way. So when scientists observe the body buzzing with awareness, they are right in that sense. It is a correct observation. Cells know how to respond to their environment, and they are in full alignment with who you have chosen to be and choose to be in every single here and now. And so is everything else around you. You're just focusing into the body right now. But that would be our answer. Is that what you meant?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Why are some cells then running out of order, so to speak, when we develop illnesses such like cancer? What is the reason for that?
No coincidence when something like that is manifested. You see, it mirrors, it reflects, like everything else around you that you understand to be your physical reality out there. It reflects to you what you are inviting yourself to look at in here. So if something runs askew, seemingly, to the rational mind, it shows you there is room for expansion, that there is a disbalance in one way, shape, or form. Now, a person may decide to manifest such a particular seeming disbalance because within all that is, it is in perfect order, it is in harmony. But a seeming disbalance in their physical body for many reasons. Some choose to physicalize a particular disease only to discover that they can overcome it in a particular way, and then to become a messenger for other people who are running into similar challenges.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
When the human race first entered this planet in our linear Earth time, can you tell me, give me an idea of when in Earth years this happened, that the human form was designed and manifested, and why was it done in this particular way?
No number can come through this channel in that particular way as you mean it. Do you understand?
Okay.
For counting and this particular type of information is not our highest excitement, and we do not have that particular relationship with the channel. It doesn't add to the relevance really for where you are right now. Now, you're asking when, and you said why, correct? Is that
Yes.
the second half?
Yes.
Why? There are an infinite amount of possible timelines present in this here and now, looking at that here and now, where you evolved to become Homo sapiens or not, you understand? Now, both are parallel to each other if we just limit it to these two. There are many more timelines, but you have decided to incarnate as one of the beings that did become Homo sapiens. You're one of their ascendants, in a sense. There was a question within the energy frequency field of your planet, of Gaia itself. She showed, you could say, She stepped forth as a volunteer in your cosmos to facilitate a gap, a blank, a storyline that hadn't been played out yet. And you could say that your own planet volunteered and said, have this storyline play out on my surface. I will facilitate. I will be the mother of this storyline in that particular way. That was a loving offer. Like we said before, everything is organically being put into place by unconditional love within consciousness, within all that is. And there was a group of souls, you could say, asking for a new landing ground within their storyline that then took that invitation. And while we are speaking in the past tense, this is all simultaneously happening right here, right now, again. And incarnated there, became the root for this storyline to unfold. And it was kick-started, in that sense, practically speaking, pragmatically speaking, by the visitation of the Anunnaki that had a encounter with humanoid species already present on Gaia, the root, the seed that was there, and split a part of them off into this particular direction by hybridization. That's where the storyline took off, and where a whole new chapter of a story that is way older than your planet, in that sense, could begin to unfold, and is still unfolding. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so very much.
Thank you. The Russian scientist, I believe his name was Sitchin, the one who translated the Anunnaki glyphs, the story that he revealed, is that actually close to the truth?
This story is not known by the channel, so therefore we can't check. You see, this is a translation and we would have to have access to it in that sense. Do you understand?
Yes. Well, I have just two more questions.
Okay.
Why is the population of the Earth rising so rapidly now? We are, as far as I know, it's like 200,000 every day, which is the rise of the population, and it's also one of the root causes to the big environmental problems that we are having on this planet. Why is this happening?
Because the asking, in a sense, for peace, balance, insights and answers has been going for so long, and because you are so close through a threshold of fully understanding, of understanding on a much, much deeper level. And the more receivers there are to channel in their own way, in their own language, in their own manner, to earth, to ground in that sense, the answer, the more accelerated your journey can become. Do you understand? For now, your species is choosing to have as many as possible be aware of the current shift. Even though most of them aren't consciously aware, they have chosen on a non-physical level to be a part of this now. You could say this is a really exciting here and now to be a part of on your planet. So many are just stepping in, sometimes even just momentarily, to facilitate the grounding of the energy frequencies that are being pulled in so strongly, so enthusiastically as they are right now. You understand? Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that this population will necessarily maintain such a high density in that sense. Also doesn't mean, just giving you a little reflection on an earlier assumption in your question, doesn't necessarily mean it will continue to have that particular impact on the environment. Because with the insights that are coming through, if allowed in a loving way in that sense to manifest by more and more and more of you, by choosing to trust non-physically, so by intention first, that things may unfold to the best, no matter what it looks like right now, doing the calculation of so many people need to eat so much, will pollute so much. But by choosing from your heart, so many people means so many beating hearts, means so many passionate entities in a physical body grounding love into your planet. So many possible new ideas that can come to expression through every single one of them. When you choose to look at that, you may shift yourself to a world where the idea of pollution is not at all even connected to the amount of entities in your population. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we just wanted to throw that one in quickly.
So my last question, it seems like a big paradox that when we on one hand say that the earth and the whole universe was created out of unconditional love,
Yes.
and then we experience on this planet a very brutal environment where all species survive by eating each other, actually. I mean, so it seems like a big paradox that this fantastic unconditional love would create such a brutal, ruthless playground. So what's the concept behind that?
Well, looking at nature, so excluding humanity just for a second, looking at nature, there's nothing brutal about that. It's a perfect harmonious balance. It keeps itself in a perfect balance, no matter how you look at it. Brutal is a word that comes in only when you paste or paint human judgment over it. When you mentalize what you see and you say it's not fair that the rabbit wasn't fast enough to escape the wolf. But the rabbit and the wolf, they have an agreement. They understand what's going on. And the rabbit knows it's not finite. It has a connection with your planet and a connection with its own higher self, understanding the moment it gives itself to the wolf, that it continues to live, that there is no punishment, there's no unfairness in any of that. And even disease, as it may occur in nature, doesn't occur by coincidence. Species may be wiped off the face of your earth, but when they do, they understand a new chapter is coming. There is a deeper inner knowing and understanding of the balance in the whole. That is unconditional love, you see. Now, you have that same understanding, but because you have such a very strong mind, you choose to not believe that. There is resistance. You are judging what you observe. You're putting your own image of how you know yourself to be on other things. You're projecting your values that you weren't born with, but you were taught as a child. Do you understand? Yes. So this is why in one culture some things are considered beautiful, and other things in another culture, the same things are being called brutal as well. For instance, the way some people decorate their human vessel, just to give an example. But it's all a part of mindset. And for you, particularly because you have this free will to explore also disconnectedness from the whole, you can make it disbalanced in a sense. Although eventually within the whole, it always all fits, even everything that you now understand as suffering, as unnecessary. But with the insight that something unfolding in that way isn't necessary, you are showing yourself that you have evolved beyond that and that you are ready for a new chapter too. And with that understanding comes a shift that may play out very magically. And it is happening on your earth right now. Perhaps if you will look for it, you will find there are more and more images of, say, a baby lamb sleeping next to a big lion. And perhaps that particular example rings familiarity for those who have been raised Christian and have read from the Bible, but particular predictions, quote unquote, made there are valid, you could say, previews of possible futures, an understanding on a deeper level that this is possible, that world peace is possible, that everything around you will begin to reflect this harmony that you are finding within yourself to you, to make it obvious that this shift is happening. And perhaps you don't immediately see it in your politics, but if animals are showing you first, that means your entire planet, that Gaia is speaking with you. Everything is speaking with you and letting you know, helping you remember that this is how things can be. So we're saying that even though you've been raised to believe particular predators need to eat meat, we're saying it is a one-on-one reflection from the journey and the storyline that you have chosen to explore in your own world. And even though there was no unneeded suffering there, that these animals too can evolve to a reflection towards you that doesn't seem as cruel anymore. You begin to understand the unconditional love within yourself. And that's why you will see species intermingle that never did before. Dogs and cats becoming friends, and so on. Cats raising baby ducks. It's all happening, you know. And there's a little wink of your own planet saying, look, nature is showing you how far you've come already. Doesn't this look odd? Doesn't it make you giggle a little bit? Doesn't it defrost the ice already right there? You have no idea how fast these things can evolve further on. The tempo is more determined for every single individual on your earth by what you choose to focus on and how you choose to label it. So we recommend, if it feels in alignment with your heart in any given moment, to reconsider the word brutal. Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you so much, Arjun.
And we thank you.
Very wise answers.
And we thank you. And we send you, all of you, our unconditional love. Shivai.
Wow.
Okay. Warm.
Yeah, beautiful.